Welcome everybody to the Cigar Social, and we're here tonight, joined by Dave, Terry, Josh, Ben, and you might remember February of last year when we got our first batch of Vicente blends sent to us by Matt and Jordan and of course Vince, which started our journey into Vicente blends, which everyone knows is a huge part of our lounge and a huge part of the cigar world now that these guys are getting out into the marketplace. And if you haven't had an opportunity to try these, you really should. This is a special cigar. Now, what makes this special tonight is, a year ago, we were sent our first batch of Vicente. We assembled this team of people that we have tonight to try the first Vicente blends ever. And what we're going to do, we were so blessed that Vince, Jordan, and Matt sent us out some originals, the OG. We got original blends that Vince put together in the very beginning. They never hit the market. This is an original blend, and that's what makes this so special. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass these around. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little reunion tonight. Vicente blend reunion. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Yes. I am selecting the tried and true gold standard.
I am selecting the Honor.
What an honor.
What an honor.
Beautiful. I'm going to select an Honor as well.
Because I've already smoked 7,000 of them. Wait, 7. Close. I'm going to pull one of the original Wars.
Of course you are. So originally I had the opportunity to test the Vicentari. Vicentari did not come in this because it hadn't been created yet. So what I have left is I've got Palladium, I've got Honor, and I think I guess I'm going to go with one of these lovely Palladiums. I would go with Honor, but it's a little light for me, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just want to read a quick note that our friend Jordan sent to us. First and foremost, Vince, Matt, and I would like to thank you for all your help over these last few years, helping us grow the Vicente Blends brand. We appreciate your help and friendship. I did some springtime digging, and you fellas found some very limited BBs. You two will be the only two people, retailer, who will sample these cigars. Very, very, very special pack of cigars. This 10 count, since Vince's very first pre-production of BB cigars before the company was even started. So without further ado, gentlemen, enjoy. Thank you. So tell us, let's talk a little bit about what you guys have experienced over the last year or more of how you, what you think of these beers.
I start off the first night. Actually, I picked the Palladium. Loved it. Great profile, fantastic draw. Amazed from the start, which was. And so anytime you grab a Vicente blend, it's virtually a perfect cigar every time. It's just a wonderful experience every single time you grab a Vicente blend.
Yeah, the draw on them was wonderful. It's good construction. The product that comes now actually has a metal band on it. And production quality, in order to get those bands to fit, cigars shrink and expand. And you got a very tight tolerance just to get the bands on. Cigars are perfect every time you get them. I've smoked quite a few of them, all of them. I do like War the best, but they're all wonderful cigars. Wonderful cigars. I don't know that we've had anyone that smoked them that has not liked them. I mean, they're really good cigars.
Wow.
Wow. And I'll tell you that this is different than the production line that we got. And I'm not saying it's different in a bad way. But it is different. I think it's kind of cool that we get the opportunity to actually taste where the journey began at, and then we've had it where it moved to, and then some of the new things that they've done with their blends since then. We've now gone full circle. Really went back to the beginning with these.
Remember, first night I selected the gold standard, which I'm smoking right now. And you hear about new cigar brands all the time and a little bit skeptical, but that first cigar knew that they were onto something. And it's held up throughout the entire line.
We had no idea what to expect when we all got together and actually smoked them all up at the bar at the front of the lounge. And I don't think we had any idea what we were getting into at that point. Very, I think to a person, very surprised at how great they were. And that's not saying that we were expecting them not to be great, but it was going to something you've never had before with, what is this going to taste like? It's going to be good. Never heard of this company before. And I think the telltale was how hard it was for the lounge to keep them on the shelf after we got them in. It wasn't easy. I mean, people were buying them left and right.
Thanks, Josh.
Right out of the gate. Yeah, they turned us into the #1 retailer in the United States for 2024, which is remarkable. We're very proud of that.
You see these cigars come in and they've got the little bands on there, and sometimes you see packaging on things and you think, is this just a gimmick? Well, these things hold up, and they've got a beautiful presentation, and it lives up to all the hype and everything.
I think when Josh sells them, and he talks about how special they are, the draw, the taste, the blend, all of the above, what an incredible experience it is to smoke one of these. To Terry's point, I've yet to hear anybody contradict that.
Yeah.
They just don't disagree with that. This is a good experience. So, yeah, very fortunate to have them.
Oh yeah, I sell these a lot. No, this is, the draw is like, unquote, Terry.
It's like breathing through a straw. I mean, the draw's effortless on them, and every single one of them is like that. I haven't had one that's had a draw issue ever.
The easiest draw of any cigar.
So effortless.
Every time we pick up a Vicente, which is amazing.
So the first time Vince came in and he was telling us about what's in the cigars, like the flavors and what you get out of each of them. And when he said, with the Honor, you get a little bit of apricot in it. You were smoking Honor. I just got a hint of apricot in this. I don't want to get into the details of what we get, but
Yes.
I just want to touch upon that. I've never gotten apricot out of Honor before because I never really focused on it because it smokes so good.
Yes.
I just enjoy it, but remembering Vince when he said that, this is what I'm getting out of this right now.
That's awesome. And it just goes to show you that these are the special pre-production blends, and how consistent they are with the production blends.
Yeah.
Now, the production blends obviously have been perfected, but it's pretty darn good. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first night that we all did this together,
Yeah.
back in February. Anyway, the first time that we got together, the five of us, and we're just floored. Couldn't believe what we were smoking. Here we are doing it again, sorts, and Leah's blown away. I probably shouldn't say equally because it's not equal, but now we know. We've experienced it, we love them. But to have a pre-production roll is pretty cool because it brings us back to square one, right?
When we say pre-production, right, Chuck, that means they have had these back aging in the humidor for some time. So
I can taste the age on these.
yeah, so we have basically kind of some of the last of the Mohicans right here.
Yep.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You told me that he found 7, and we didn't get all 7. We got 2, so there's 5 of them still out there. But they're probably for the ELT and for their inner circle. Yeah, I mean, this is a great way to put it. Last movie. All right, we're all here at the Cigar Social. The original 5 cast members of the original tasting of Vicente Blends cigars. First contacted by Matt Melito back in February. We got the 5 and we were blown away, were we not?
Oh yeah.
We are here, we are reassembled and are having a reunion to taste them all again. They were kind enough to send us out some pre-production blends of our favorite cigars. So we're having a time. And from a great cigar, I think
That's a fantastic cigar. And all of the Vicente line is a real treat, a gift from Vicente Blends to give us pre-production, which means these have been aged back by them in their humidors.
yeah, we don't even know how long.
It's an exclusive gift for what Cigar Social has been such an amazing retailer for them. Yeah, toot your own horn just a little bit there.
Yeah, when they approached us to do it, they sent these out, we had them and we were floored, blown away, immediately jumped on board, and that translated into what, Dave?
Thank you guys. Right, we're the original retailers from here. Here we are in Davenport, Iowa, and you were the #1 retailer, is what they told you
In
from
2024, that's
2024,
correct.
yes.
Yeah.
So not only Vicente Blends is special, Cigar Social is special, but I think the Vicente Blends, I would say ultra premium cigar, is itself that we are able to be the #1 retailer out of Davenport, Iowa.
Which also translates to you can only get them here. So if you want to try Vicente Blends, you got to come in at Cigar Social USA.
Yep.
Come in and get yours. It's amazing.
Yeah, wonderful. It's once again, it's kind of cool to smoke the pre-production line, knowing what it came out as in full production. Special, actually. And these are gone. They're gone. These are the original prototypes. And they're amazing.
We were smoking the origin story
There you go.
tonight.
There you go.
And as always,
Stay
Stay
smoky,
smoky,
my
my
friends.
So we are moving into the middle, but I'd say probably what, 3/5 of this thing. And we want to go around the table and talk about some other things that go along with these wonderful cigars.
So we got some
But yeah, company to begin with.
Yeah, we got some decent spirits that we brought in. New one, a Bond, 15-year cask strength, just came out. Got some Joseph Magnus cigar blend, and of course, 15-year Remus Gatsby Reserve. So you drink with your cigars what you like. These are just what we have tonight. Vicente Blends is a very versatile cigar. You can drink almost anything with it. Great cigars. Choose what you like to drink. Smoke it with an awesome cigar, and you're probably going to have a good night.
Barry and I are, by default, we are whiskey drinkers, right?
Yeah.
But we enjoy all libations. But yeah, the Vicente Blend cigar is amazing on its own, but it can dance with anything that you want to drink, any activity you want to do. Vicente Blends can be there for sure, I think. So typically bourbon, I find it has a little sweeter tone. That's my default. But I love that, especially in Smoke of the Honor, or the gold standard. That sweetness comes through with the cigar. Kind enough to pour me a glass of the scotch, which is great. So even that smokiness with the cigar smoke, they really complement each other very, very well. As we're approaching,
I don't recall us having any spirits the first night.
No spirits the
You know
first
what?
night.
We did not, and I think I know we did.
But I remember the conversation quickly turned to what the pairings might be if they were here. And I think they crossed the whole spectrum.
Oh,
I think, 4 different blends, 4 different choices, right?
Yeah.
But back to what you said, I think coffee, Pellegrino water, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think if I had to pick another one, not that it's on the table, is fantastic selection tonight. Like I would pick a tequila to go with the Honor tonight. Would be my opinion and my recommendation. But as I say, disclaimer, right? I think any spirit, any beverage would go fantastic with one of these cigars.
That's how good they are.
Yeah.
Versatile they are, how good they are. Yeah. See if we can pull back some memories on what we were thinking when we first tried this.
It was interesting because we went into smoking it with no preconceived notions of what they were going to be. I think when we first cut them and dry pulled on them, and we're just amazed at the draw before they were lit, and then lit them up, and they were just phenomenal. I think everyone smoked their cigars literally down to the point where they were burning their fingers.
The larger ring, you would think that it would be more of a heavy, big, bulky. The draw makes it feel so light.
Yeah.
For a cold draw, and it's like, whoa, this is.
I think the beauty of the cigar has really caught my attention right away. You flipped open the sampler box, and there are these beautiful cigars, big, beautiful cigars. They have these awesome metal bands, right? Ben, can you give us a couple flashes there?
There we go.
And every time you think that they're 10 and you pick them up, and they're solid.
They're heavy.
And substantial, which goes to speak to the quality. I think just everything Vince had done in developing these, which is great. So yeah, I'm like, gorgeous. This is so cool. And a few of us are jumping on our phones, like to look up Vicente Blend, see what the website has to say. And we fired up. We started doing the draw, and we're like, this is the best draw out of any cigar I think we've had. For me, anytime,
And that's a bold statement because we smoke a lot of Padrones.
Yeah.
We do. And, yeah.
You can
We're
just
on
tell
Cigar.
that Vince is an engineer and he engineered this thing to near perfection.
Yes, yes, and that was a wonderful thing when he came to visit us, to hear his story and why we did the metal bands. You know, the quick version, I think we've talked about this before, is that the engineering specs, because he knows at this size, if it fits this band, this weight, it is this much, perfect cigar.
And it's rolled the way he wants it rolled.
Yes.
There's very tight tolerances on them, and you have to with
That's
a
what
metal
it's like,
band.
tolerances, yes.
Remember, Chuck, when we smoked Vicente blunts in Vegas with Ritz?
Yeah.
We were outside of the 8 Lounge and smoking it there. You're the PCA last year.
That's right, much higher elevation, and,
Yeah.
it smoked a little different. I thought it was fine, but I know that Vince wasn't too wild about it. He liked it was smoking at that altitude, but I didn't have a problem with it. Did you?
No,
No. And we smoked.
I like
Yeah, that was a fun time.
And we are probably about halfway into our cigars now, right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right. You can tell Josh loves these cigars because he's a little further along. So is Chuck, right? But this is fantastic in the middle. It just keeps getting better and better
Yes.
and better.
He's a blending master. There's no doubt about it.
Of these, exact reason why the lounges had at times had a hard time keeping the stuff on the shelf. Get an order in on Wednesday, it's gone by Friday or Saturday. Happened more than once. I'm all orders. I have members that come in and buy. The moment they hear that there's another order, they come in and buy a box. You got one guy that comes in every 2 weeks and buys a box.
Yeah. Well, early on when we became a retailer, one of the first. Is that accurate?
Yeah, one of the
It's a mileage thing, right? You buy them online, but if you wanted them, you had to drive. It was 200. I think it was 200 to 300 miles. You had to come put your fingers on these things, and that has since back a touch. But we were also informed that are still now one of the remaining original retail, OG retailer, right? It's working for us, and if it can work for us in Davenport, Iowa, let me tell you, it can work for you wherever you are, as long as you understand the quality and just the premium nuance of this cigar. This is, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean,
And let's really be honest. So the group here tends to smoke a lot of high-end cigars, and this obviously ranks right up there with the high-end cigars. It's uncommon for us to smoke Padron 60s and things like that. So to please in that same category is rather special. This is a really good cigar. Said I don't know that Chuck has offered it to someone for purchase that did not like it. They're that people eat a cigar and you're kind of like it's okay, but these are really good cigars. I don't think I've heard of anyone complain after smoking one that thought it wasn't an awesome cigar. Palate's different. Nice thing is you only have the OG version that we're smoking, which was the original ones that came out, but they have the Sleeks also, which are in their own right very great cigars.
JT's smoking that right now.
Yeah.
He's smoking the gold.
and so back in February when we first got together, I don't think anybody really knew what to expect. Probably just, they're going to send 5 cigars out, and we're going to get them and smoke them and be like, yeah. What'd you think? Oh, it was all right. Oh, what'd you think? Oh, this tastes a little bit that. What'd you think? Oh, the taste wasn't bad.
Not at all. We smoke a lot of premium cigars around here, and so the standard is pretty high.
Bars shut high.
Yes, pretty high. And then when we got into these, we instantly knew there was something different. These have been engineered to perfection. Just the draw is so smooth, and it's like breathing through a straw. And even when Vince came here and spoke the first time, he talked about that draw and how important that draw is to him. He's an engineer, and he engineered it to perfection.
I think it's funny because that first night we're done in the samplers, everyone was like, all right, so are we going to actually be able to get these? And when will they be in?
Well, we called Matt that night.
Yeah.
He's on Philadelphia time, which is an hour ahead of us. We called him that Saturday night.
Yeah.
He picked up the phone.
Yeah.
I don't recall whether we put the first order in with them that night or not, but we told them we're on board.
All I know is when the first order came in, it did not last very long. Yeah. I think the response was, how did you sell them all already? Are you giving them away? The answer is no.
That's exactly.
The answer is
I
no.
do remember that.
Yeah, the answer is no. They were not given away. They were purchased and smoked.
Yeah.
It was an arson sale.
Yeah, I know. And that was the feeling that night. We had such that experience, lives in all of our minds. How special that night was and how great that was, and the enjoyment we all had.
It was tremendous.
Yeah, like discovering fire. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were so excited when that first shipment hit. And then,
Awesome.
yeah, it was very awesome. I think that carries through just on how well reputation of Vicente Blend Series at the Cigar Social, and and response by people too. But I think Josh, Josh has an exquisite taste on things, not only cigars and lifestyle things like that. But I thank Josh a lot because he is a master seller of these cigars. And what is the enjoyable part, or what is the part you find so easy about selling Vicente Blends?
So I get more experience rather than selling product. It's selling the emotions and selling the experience. So the cigar speaks for itself when you smoke it. If you know what you're smoking, if you have that particular taste in the high-end cigars, right? But I sell the experience rather than the cigar. And people always go for that because they want experience. And I sometimes offer, I might not be offering the right liquor, but usually it's bourbon, tequila, or whatever Vince recommended when he was there. I offer it, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to experience that. We want to do the retro and hill and taste apricot in honor and whatnot." So yeah, selling experience.
Yeah, part of the experience is the quality.
Exactly.
Makes it easy to sell the experience, right? Yeah.
I wear quality, I smoke quality, and I sell quality. So some people still know how to smoke.
Well, I think the key to it too is the fact that you can't sell anything you don't believe in, right?
Yes.
You can't sell anything that you don't believe in yourself.
Yes.
So, that you can talk about it all day long, but having experience that and believing in the product and believing what you're saying to someone, that's where the rubber hits the road. If you don't believe in it, people can pick up on it.
True.
So you're selling a product that really sells itself, and then once they do experience it, then it's word of mouth, and there's no better advertising in the world.
Yeah.
The consistency of it too, because every time you smoke one, it's completely enjoyable, a completely great experience every time. So when you're talking about Vicente Blends to other people, why they should try it, why they should, and even if that's not typically where they are smoking higher end cigars, luxury cigars, things like that, that say this is will blow your mind, basically. Say this is definitely worth it. And hesitation they may come at price point or that but trying something new is quickly overcome, I believe, right?
Yep.
I agree. The first time you sell one of these to someone, they light it up. You check in with them, and man, they just have great reports every time, don't they?
A lot of the so one time a guy came from out of town, and I've sold him this, and he said this is the best cigar he ever had. Like the draw wise, the taste wise, it was just he never came in Davenport. He was there for work, and he was like, "This is the best cigar I've ever had." He ended up buying a box of more.
Yeah. But that's pretty,
And
obviously,
that's standard.
With Vicente, that seems to be the road that most people go down and try one or two of them, and next thing you know, they want the box. And they're great cigars. They really are.
But the key is to be able to speak intelligently, experience-wise, of them to somebody before they try it, right? So, to a certain extent, to a certain degree, the repeat patron is coming back because they experienced it, and they said, "Oh, he was right on." Getting somebody over the hump the first time, that's where I was talking earlier about believing in the product. And that's why it's so special that we can sit here tonight and go back to the original OG of these things and relive it, because it happened to all of us, all five of us. Right? We were sitting there with our jaws on the floor going, what did we just experience? Oh dear gosh, I mean, when can we get these in?
Yeah, and that was the one downside to that night is there was only one of each kind. And I think when all of us were done with the one we smoked, we wanted to smoke one of the other four that we hadn't had, and we didn't have them. We had to wait. And the waiting was not. That's that was the funny part of. We just got done smoking them, and I know you called Matt, and then we're like, all right, so when are we going to get the rest of them? Because I only got to try 4 that night, and I wanted to try the other 4.
Mhm. That's the interesting thing about the variety pack too, is selling perspective. Try the one, you're going to want to try all 4.
Yeah.
So it happens it comes in an all 4 pack, right? Not the cheapest endeavor in the world, but the
No.
quality never is, right?
I often find myself buying cigars as a gift to people. Normal people I think a lot of. I know some people who are very have distinguished palates, and giving Vicente blends as a gift is giving them something that they haven't experienced yet, something amazing they haven't experienced yet.
Yep.
It's impressive too. That variety
Yeah.
box is impressive to look at.
The presentation is really nice. I mean, opening up the box and seeing the cigars with the rings on them. I mean, it's really class up a cigar that's already in the upper class.
I have, so, story I want to tell, me and Ben, we were with one of our friends, and I was styling, and getting him a suit at Ralph Lauren Purple Label. And one of the directors for all the Ralph Lauren's in the nation came, and he was measuring time. So I had brought the cigars, but we just had it with us to smoke ourselves. And he looked at the bag, and he was like, "Oh, what is this?" And we gave him a few cigars, and he loved it. This is a director of Ralph Lauren, right? And he's a big cigar smoker. So we gave him some cigars, and he was like, "This is amazing." So he's a buyer now. He buys Vicente blends, and he lives in New York. So
End of our road tonight, our reunion, our Vicente blend reunion. Just go around the horn and see what people think. It's a short conversation because I think everyone's blown away once again.
Yeah.
Right, it went way too fast.
Yeah.
It went too fast.
Yep.
Right? Experience. I'm so happy. An opportunity was offered to Cigar Social that we got to be part of this, one of the original ones. And man, I'm gonna say thank you to Vince and team. Just amazing stuff. We can't give you guys enough highest accolades. And look forward to my next Vicente blends very soon.
Yep. Matt, Gordon, Joe, Dave, Mike, Jason, Kimberly, Josh,
The set.
Seth. Who else, Josh? Am I missing anybody? Ira.
Ira.
If I'm missing anybody, I apologize.
Cigar buff.
Okay. Anybody associated with Vicente
Yes.
Blends, thank you. Thank you, you guys, for taking the time out to have this great reunion. It's important, not only the fact that we got these vintage cigars to smoke, but also just to revisit this special relationship that we do have with these guys. We'll continue to give it our 1,000%, and to keep them on the shelves. Sorry, keep them coming. So, without further ado, there's nothing we would like better than to
Stay smoky, my friends.
with a Vicente Blends. Adios.